I think I'm falling in love with my substance dealer, please help. This is the most unexpected experience that I've ever gone through, but overall, I feel more thrilled than anything. I know this seems like an unconventional connection, but maybe those are the best types of connections. I'm 22 years old, and I have lived on my own since I moved out at 18. My household was super toxic and abusive, and I was forced to grow up fast. I am used to taking care of myself. I have been working multiple jobs and paying my own rent for years now, but I don't speak to my family anymore. Even though I'm much happier on my own, it doesn't mean that being self-sufficient isn't lonely or stressful, and I wish more than anything that I could go to college. I love reading and writing, and it was always my dream to become an English teacher. But I have no extra money, and I don't qualify for financial aid since I work multiple jobs to afford rent. Recently I have been dealing with severe anxiety, mostly from thinking back to my past but also from worrying about my uncertain future. I just don't want to be a failure in life. I don't care what my family or anyone else thinks, but I just don't want to let myself down. I was venting to my one coworker about how bad my anxiety had been, and she suggested I try smoking WD, since it helped her with her own anxiety. I was apprehensive at first, but then I remembered I live on my own and plenty of other people smoke in my building. My coworker put me in touch with her dealer, a guy named Marshall, and even though I was nervous to contact him, I really needed help with my anxiety. I reached out to him the same day, and told him about my situation. I told him I had never bought substances before and I didn't know what I wanted, or how much it would be, and I apologized for being so naive. He was lovely over text. He explained to me how much would be best, and he said he would roll up the WD for me as well. When we met up in person, I realized he was honestly sort of cute. He was this huge, tall, chubby guy and had a really warm smile. When we first met I told him I liked his tattoos and he explained to me that he was Samoan and they were traditional tattoos. He was so interesting right off the bat. When I gave him the cash, he handed me back half of it and called it a first-time customer discount. I had a great night alone watching old animated movies from my childhood and pigging out on snacks. The night really did relieve me of anxiety, and I started smoking and buying from Marshall regularly. Marshall was always a gentleman whenever I saw him. Even though he had called it a first-time discount, I always bought the same amount, and he never charged me more than that the first time. I don't know if this is how all dealers were, but he seemed like such a caring guy. Like one time, I had texted him to re-up and mentioned I wasn't feeling well. He dropped my WD off, but when I went inside, I realized he had put a small peppermint tea bag and a travel-sized Vicks in the bag as well. It was the sweetest thing anyone had done for me in a while. At that point, I was really starting to like him, but there was one day in particular that really started to make me look at him in a different light.